So hi guys, I hope that you guys are doing pretty well. So before I start anything, so I wanted to let you guys know that the things I'm going to be saying today are stuff that I've experienced myself and stuff that I've heard from people who actually went to the same stuff that I'm trying to tell you guys about. And do not take it as a general thing that will for you, because it might not, and if it does not, I'm not responsible for it. So yeah, so it might not, so just keep that in mind. And the second thing that I want to say before I start the video today is I did try vlogging, and I thought I would have, keep vlogging for a long time. But the thing is, I do a lot every day, which does not allow me to vlog or bring a camera, which is me being in clinic and seeing patients as a medical scribe. So I generally cannot vlog this, and I will not even try to vlog anything at the hospital. So I'm not gonna vlog anything. So I just decided to put this project on hold and do something else and come back with the thing that I used to do before, which is, talk about a specific subject every day when I can and when I want. Today I'm exhausted. I had like a 9, slightly 10-hour shift, and I'm back home. I had to go on campus and get some stuff. And yeah, so I'm just exhausted. The only thing that I really want to do right now is say something, but like I've planned this week to come back on YouTube and do stuff and see how it goes. So that's one of the reasons why I'm showing up today. I'm showing up for myself because I really want to be proud of myself at the end of the week and be like, yeah, I made this. So let's go back to it. So the subject for today is going to be study tip. I'm not gonna be doing the video the way that those thousands of videos are on YouTube, like people are coming up with study tips from the literature and people coming with stuff that they probably read about or like a specific study, and they just regurgitate like the study and everything, and they will tell you, hey, try it, it's the best. Because I do know that it does not work for everybody. I personally tried some of those and it did not work for me. So that's why today I'm coming up with my own and give you guys like a new perspective and like new options if you did not know about it. But I'm pretty sure that you guys know about this stuff. But like the things that are gonna make my video different from like those people videos and stuff like that, I'm gonna tell you exactly the way that I do it myself and not tell you, hey, this thing exists and you can try it. So that's like the only difference technically. So let's get into it. So today I'm gonna be coming up with like 5 things that I do when I'm studying. So they are the following. So the first thing is flashcards. So flashcards is something that I'm doing a lot today because I have a good amount of content that I need to go through, and I would not be able to do it or go through them without the use of flashcards because they're a lot. But when I was back in high school and middle school, I used to do something similar, but yeah, it was not flashcards. So the thing that I used to do back in high school and middle school is get like a blank paper and put the question and put an answer slot and then do it over and over again until I know the answer to the question, which is technically the same principle as a flashcard. But the thing is, I did not have the question on, I'll say on the front and the answer at the bottom, which is technically what I do every day right now. So I can say that I was still using flashcards, but not the way that I'm using it right now, or that I was using the principle but not technically flashcards. So I still used to do it, but I did not call it flashcards, and I did not even think about it. I did not even think what I was doing. So I was just trying to find something pretty similar as the way that they're gonna ask me the question in the exam and just do something and study it, because I'm not gonna lie, in high school I had a lot of stuff to memorize. The system that I was in high school in the US system, it's like 2 totally different systems, and that's one of the reasons why I'm not afraid of going through like heavy contents, pages of contents, because I was kind of used to it back in high school, and then right now it's like nothing new for me. It's just like the pages are like right now double or triple, and that's pretty much all about it. So it's like nothing new for me technically. So thank you for my high school trauma, because it was a lot and I learned from it. The second thing that I'm doing right now when I'm studying is rereading my notes. I know some people will be like, do not do it because it's gonna be a loss of time. You're not gonna retain as much as possible, like as much as it could have been. But the thing is, if I'm not doing anything and I'm generally bored and I do not see myself doing anything else than studying, I'm thinking about studying all the time, and I'm not tired, I've slept well, and I'm not hungry, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna take my and I'm gonna review them. So I might not go take flashcards because I do know that I have not studied the content yet, and doing flashcards when you did not study the content yet is kind of pointless for me. Even if sometimes I, just go straight up and do flashcards. So sometimes it's like nonsense for me. So I'll just take my note and reread them and get familiar to the content and kind of like, get used to it before I do flashcards. So I'm not telling you like rereading your notes. It's like the thing that you have to do as well, because it might be a waste of time if you have like a bunch of notes and you're not doing anything else than reading them. Because like what the heck, you could have done something different, like actively try like to get a new method, like to retain as much as possible. Because by reading something, I don't think that honestly. So if I'm reading something or reading something, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna get everything or retain everything from what I'm reading, but I will get like the main information, or I can outline the content for you because I already know what the content is about. So right now I'll take flashcards and use flashcards to actually like, dive deeper into the content. But rereading my note is something that I do when I'm generally not doing anything, and I do not have to do anything because there is no priority and I'm bored. So I'll just go and reread my notes if I feel like it. So that's kind of like one thing that I do also when I'm studying. The third thing that I do when I'm studying is I use scholars. I know it might be cliche and also weird because I'm a boy, I'm a guy, and supposedly some guy did not use colors. I'm not gonna say all the guys because I'm a guy and I do it. So I use color to outline like some titles and subtitle of the things I'm studying, so that I can kind of tell my mind that this is important. So if I'm reading a chapter, for example, there's like different sub chapters and like sub point or stuff that they're trying to put me or show me from this chapter that I'm reading. So I will generally have like a color pencil, or sometimes I'll have an highlighter close to me so that I can just outline like not every single point or maybe every single sub chapters, but some of them, or like the chapters that I just judge are important for me and stuff that I generally need to retain, and probably some new vocabulary words if the book that I'm reading doesn't have any glossary, so that later I come back to it and review it. So I'll just have something to outline or like underline or do other stuff with it, just to tell my mind, hey, you know what, this is important. This specific color means something. So this is important. We need to keep it right now, or just keep it somewhere so that I can go back to it and review it later. So that's one of the reasons why I use colors. And the fourth thing that I use when I'm studying is moving. I move a lot when I'm studying. Like I try to walk or play with my dog because it helped me, to, how do I even say that? Not focus. I'm focused somehow because I'm just moving. I like moving, and I'm not gonna be sitting in my chair and study for 2 hours. Sometimes I do it, all the time I don't. I'm really not into doing it. So I'll just go out, move, walk, and just like give something to my dog and watch her coming back to it and do it again. Like the fact that I'm doing the same thing over and over again kind of helped me to retain this stuff much more faster. I genuinely do not know why. I did not look for more literature about it, which is something that I think I should do in order to know whether or not I can expand this kind of method or if it is even a thing. But I just like moving, and most likely if I'm studying something really long, I'll try to be in an open place and walk around and just say my thing over and over again until I retain it. And the fifth thing that I do when I'm studying is I use lo-fi music. So lo-fi music is something that I randomly started doing last year, but it did help me A lot, like really, 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 really a lot. Because my people are noisy. My people are always talking about something. They're always doing something, and I'm not gonna lie. When I'm really in the mood for studying, so I genuinely don't want to hear anything. If I'm sitting on my chair and doing it, because I have two faces. I mean, like two faces when I'm studying. I either like the guy want to sit on his chair, on the room, and not saying anything. I say on the room, in the room, on his chair, studying and not listening to anything except lo-fi music, or the guy who's outside playing with his dog and trying not to think about anything else than studying. So if I'm in my room, so the only thing that I'm gonna do is get my headset and put some lo-fi and study, because I know I need to do it for myself, and at the end of the day, nobody will do it for me. So lo-fi does help me to kind of get away from my people without technically get away from them, because I'm in my room and just study and do what I need to do, which is studying. So yeah, so those were like the 5-step or maybe like method that I use when I'm studying. And I also came up with 3 other things that I wanted to add to the video. The first thing is, when you guys are trying to study, pay attention to environmental factors like background noises, like I just talked about. Like if it's really noisy, just put your headset on and try to listen to something. I know for some people, listening to the rain or like some raining sounds, it does help. Or listening to, I don't know, some waves, it also does help. It used to be something that I've done that in the past, but I stopped doing it because I was like, what the heck? It's like the same thing over and over again, so I stopped doing it. So I switched to lo-fi, but you guys can use different other things if your background is really noisy, or you're living with somebody else and they're really noisy, they're making like a bunch of noise. So you can put your headset on and like listen to something while you're studying, because you have to study either way. And the second thing is your body sign. So when you're studying, your body will tell you something. So if you're hungry, your body will generally tell you, hey, you know what, I'm hungry, I'm not gonna do it. Your body is not gonna tell you I'm hungry and then stop. Your body will tell you, hey, I'm hungry. So it's gonna be like what you tell your body. So are you gonna let your body tell you, hey, you're hungry, and not do anything about it? I'm not gonna lie, don't try to do this, because that's a really bad idea. So by doing this, you will start not being as focused as you used to, or as focused as you initially started, and then you will just like stop thinking about studying and like start thinking about food. So before you start studying, even if it's like a short session or a really long session, only if you're not comfortable with, please go eat something, because eating is really important. And also another thing that you guys need to make sure you guys take care about is having water. I generally have this gallon with me, not everywhere I go, which used to be a thing, but right now just in my room, because I tend to forget to drink water, and each time that I will see it, I will just like take a sip of water, and then before I know it, by the end of the day, this thing is gone. And when I'm studying, it's really helpful because I do not need to do any back and forth and go to the kitchen and go back to my room like to get some water. I'll just fill that up, and I know that I will have water like for the whole day, or probably half the day, based on how the weather is, because I'm still living in Miami, and guys, it got crazy sometimes. And the third thing that I do is I try to be honest with myself and review as needed. So if I'm studying and I know I'm struggling to retain my stuff, so I will generally do it over and over again. I do not care if it's 5 times, 10 times, 12 times, I'll do it over and over again until I get it. So do not be guilty, and because you said the thing more than 5 times and you still do not get it. If you do not get it, probably because there is like some basic stuff that you did not get, and then they add basic stuff on top of each other, and then it get complicated. So if you do not get it, try to write it down, try to take it apart and say it as much as you need, because you're studying for yourself, you're studying to know the knowledge, not to gain the knowledge. So if it's not working for you one time, try a second time, try a third time, try a fourth time. until you get it. So my grandma is in the kitchen right now and she's really noisy, so I'm gonna try to cut this video because I've started really well, even if I technically did not start really well, but I think I did pretty well today. And I'm getting really much more comfortable right now in the camera, and I think that you guys can see it. But my camera is making noise now, so I'm just gonna like cut this thing, try not to make it really bad. So I really like recording this video and talking about this, this thing that I just talked about to you guys today, and hopefully somebody will watch this video and get something out of it. And if you guys did not get something out of it, I'm sorry. And if you did know something about the subject, feel free to let other people know about it in the comment section, because I'm not trying to gatekeep. Don't try to gatekeep, and I'll be pretty much it. So right now I generally need to stop this and go eat something because I'm hungry. So I will see you guys tomorrow once I'll be done with my cleaning hours. And yeah, I'll be pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and bye. How do I